This match was so fake. It is so fake. Like, for some particular reason, they threw in one fighter that goes by the name Mr. Danger. Mitsuhiro Matsunaga taking on the Beast, Dan Severn. Live on U Japan, November 17th, 1996. And at this time, Dan Severn was already a super fight champion in UFC several months ago, and he's winning fight streaks. He leaves, goes to Japan by the summer. He comes back during the month of September in USA to win another fight. He goes 40 minutes the distance in Brazil against someone else in October, only a month later to come back to take on a professional wrestler. Mitsuhiro, I really don't know what to say about him. This guy, a frontier martial arts wrestler, New Japan wrestler, considering how he only worked 2 shows in 91, comes forward in International Generation, FMW in 93 and 96. He worked in FMW. And then he goes to Big Japan Pro Wrestling on July, wrestles on through. He still wrestles a few times. He goes to a 3-way death match in September in a friggin' alligator death match. And this is planning for an MMA fight. This professional wrestler is in a plan for an MMA fight against the Beast Severn. And the first thing you see a man getting interviewed outside as Mr. Danger. You see his fight card. You see Dan Severn's fight card. You see Dan Severn in a ring. Hell, even before the fight started, 1 minute, you see Dan Severn picking up a huge something that wasn't a water bottle. He put something in his mouth and something, he drinks it. I almost thought to myself, wait, is that steroids? Because Dan Severn even did say in an interview with WIS or whatever YouTube channel's name is, WSI Wrestling Shoot interview, when he interviewed him a few years ago, and telling how Dan told him that he's the first person to ever take steroids. But looking back at it, when I saw it, it wasn't. But it was so hilarious. It was so... The fight starts. So this is how the fight starts. So Dan Severn, like I said before, and that's the whole story of what we're coming to. So yeah. So of course, Mitsuhiro is a wrestler. Dan Severn, sort of a professional wrestler, but he's a beast. He's an MMA fighter. And the fight starts, and all, like, I can't. Like, the fight starts on a few seconds. They're both stunning each other out. And about maybe like 10 seconds when the fight starts, they're just stunning each other out. Dan Severn goes for the attack. And he goes for the attack. Now, it seemed like it was a real fight. It seemed real to me. And it looked like Dan was going to fish him off. And then suddenly, I see Dan picking up Mitsuhiro. He picks him up. He stands... I thought he was going to stand back up, but he slams him back on the ground. And I don't know if I'm hearing a woman commentator or a man commentator with a high woman pitch. He's laughing. He's going... Like, I didn't know if it was a woman commentator commentating this or a man, because that guy had a high-pitched voice. If you was to watch the video... But here's fine. He does it. He picks him up again, and he picks him up a second time. He's holding on to part of his right leg, and his other body right here slams him again. it's so, he picks him up a third time. It was so, wait, let me watch the footage again. Wait. I don't know how many times he did it. Wait. So the fight starts here. He puts him down the ground. So here's the footage. He picks him up. I don't think I'm supposed to show the footage. Might get copyrighted, but I might. So he picks him up, slams him. He picks him up again, and he pondles again. Third time, and the crowd is clapping. Some of the fans are laughing, and it's hilarious. And then a fourth time, he slams his body through the cage. I think his feet were the ones that got the worst of it, actually. But when I saw that, that scared the crap out of me. I thought he hurt for real when he did that. And then he's wrapping Dan Severn around his arms, but Dan Severn gets back up, and the fifth time, he picked him up so slow, and then he does it a fifth time, and so pressure is on. Bam! This match is dumb. And the match ends when he actually puts on the rear naked choke. He grabs through, I think he puts the rear naked choke on, so he turns around to his right, and he grabs him through his arm here, and then he rolls him around his belly. Now he got the rear naked choke, and Mitsuhiro taps out before he even puts on. He raises hands. Dan's the winner at 1 minute. What's the time? 1 minute 32 seconds of the first round. And they also show a replay of Mitsuhiro grabbing Dan's hair, which is hilarious enough. But this was the dumbest match. It was so funny. And then they have, when they're about to announce the winner, Mitsuhiro has his trainer, I think. The guy trainer is wearing a random pink shirt. He has blonde hair and a weird mustache goatee. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? Is this a real fight or what? It's so funny. They win the fight, and that's it. And then they go to interview. And, of course, Dan states, he tells us he always checks out the environment. You're not supposed to hesitate. You got to go for the move right now before it's too late. He tells us this or that. I love how Dan Severn's talking straight. He's not talking about if it's fake or not, saying this or that. Because I love how Dan Severn talks about fights and how he does this. This is what he does. What your opponent does. So at least he's being more straight talker. And then the camera cuts to a close shot of a baseball bat covered in barbed wire. It's covered in barbed wire. And I don't know what Mitsuhiro is saying, because I try to put on closed captions, and when I did, I try to put on closed captions during the time when I saw the video, and I still couldn't understand a lot of the stuff I was saying. All I hear is nothing. He's talking so straight. Like he's behind some restaurant tables or something. He's holding on to a barbed wire, and he's looking down on it while talking. I'm like, holy shit, he's going to kill Dan Severn. He's going to call him the Yakuza and kick the crap out of him. It's so funny. He's holding, like, he lost the fight. First video clip interview, post-match interview, Dan's talking straight, being simple, talking about this or that. Straight talk. It's simple. And you have Mitsuhiro. He's so calm, but he's holding on to a bat with barbed wire. He's about to kill Dan Severn. This guy is so... And the first closed captions I see, like this is what it read here on closed captions. It says, use it. 1 second, 2 seconds. I don't know. I didn't want it. I want to end up losing because of a fall. And I thought it was a courtesy to preserve the game. So I decided to play the game fairly and squarely when he faced each other. I was like Andre. It was like that. The next time it happened normally, I thought it wasn't that big when we were passing each other, but it felt like Andre was actually doing it. And it felt like that even during the fight. So I thought it was good. Anyway, the mat is so hard that it gets thrown over things. So I guess it was all I could do to keep it from pausing. End of story. No comment. I actually gave this match 2 stars because of how dumb the aftermath of the fight was and the interview stupid bat he was holding and everything else. It was so dumb. The commentator was enjoying himself. This match was wild. That's all I could say. PG wild.